News is coming that Sonia Gandhi will finally be stepping back from electoral politics and possibly taking the Rajya Sabha's route to parliament. This in itself would be the end of one kind of Sonia Gandhi era in the Congress, but it also possibly marks the beginning of another kind of era. For a long time, there has been debate around whether Priyanka Gandhi Vadra's entry into politics can make any difference to the fortunes of an embattled Congress party. Well, we might soon find out. The word is that while Sonia Gandhi takes the Rajya Sabha route, Priyanka Gandhi, her daughter, will now be contesting from Raebareli. Now, this is significant because in the last elections, we saw the Gandhis unable to hold on to their once family bastion seat of Amethi, that seat won by Smriti Irani. Recent polls have shown that if Sonia Gandhi were to leave Raebareli, then the Congress could have a tough fight on its last redeeming feature, as it were, in the heartland politics of Uttar Pradesh. If this does happen, and there is still no official word from the Congress, but reports do suggest that we would have clarity on this perhaps in the next 24 hours, it is, as I said, the significant end of one kind of Sonia Gandhi politics at a time when perhaps her party needs her more than ever before. To talk about what a Sonia Gandhi Rajya Sabha route and a Priyanka Gandhi entry into electoral politics might mean for the party, if anything at all, let's introduce our guest. Tavleen Singh, veteran columnist and author, is with us. Also joining us is Sugata Srinivasaraju, the author of a recent book on Rahul Gandhi. Thank you, Sugata. Always a pleasure. Sanjay, a lapsed Congress spokesperson, but always an advocate, as it were, for Priyanka Gandhi, is on the program with us. And also joining us is PKD Nambiar, political analyst, typically a supporter of the Prime Minister. We'll find out what he makes of these developments in the opposition camp. Tavleen, let me start with you. First thoughts, does it matter at all at a time when the Modi government seems to be, by all accounts, cruising towards its third term? Its opposition doesn't seem to come from political opposition. It comes more from people's organized movements like the farmers movement, which is happening, unfolding at our borders even as we speak, as the farmers march towards Delhi. Does it matter if one Gandhi goes and another Gandhi comes?
It sounds a little bit like kind of as if they're just doing this to hang on to their houses in Delhi, which, by the way, it might sound like a frivolous thing to say, but you know that there are a lot of politicians who stay in politics one way or the other just to keep the houses. But on a more serious, that I meant kind of slightly facetiously, on a more serious note, I don't think it matters. I think that the Gandhi family has had a great run. Sonia Gandhi herself has had, she's really had a remarkable length of time as Congress president, and has taken it from two great heights and then brought it really down to the dregs. And, Priyanka Gandhi was, as you remember, the trump card of the last election. She was announced at the very last moment, just before, the polling, and it didn't work then. She hasn't actually shown herself so far to be in any way a cleverer politician than her brother. And so, I really don't see the difference. But I must tell you that I was in Raebareli last election, and people were very angry with Sonia. And, they felt that she hadn't done anything. And I went to villages where they still had to take pregnant women on a stretcher to, kilometers away for delivery. So they were very unhappy with her then. So, it's just kind of wise on her part to stay away.
So I think the last comment that you made is the operative part, Sanjay Jha. We have absolutely no evidence electorally, statistically, to show that Priyanka Gandhi is more effective than Rahul Gandhi. Some might even argue that Rahul Gandhi has earned his spurs. He's hung around. He's been called all sorts of names. He's been criticized. He's been called a pappu. He's been mocked. But he's hung around. Priyanka Gandhi actually hasn't gone through that baptism by fire. She's always been 1 foot out, 1 foot in for the longest time. She's actually had a more entitled run in politics than her brother. Do you think this is of any significance, Sanjay?
One of the things I have learned in politics, Barkha, is that you never write off an individual or a political party at any time. It is rather foolhardy to do so, and in my opinion, myopic. There is a reason why somebody famously said, right, that a week is a long time in politics. I don't know. As a student of economics, as a student who looks at numbers, technically, I can tell you this technically, I can do a whole program on that. If I look at the fundamentals of India's economy and society, there is no way that Narendra Modi should be back as a prime minister. No way. I would give it 0 on 10. But we all know that politics is not about just the seminal realities, it's about perception, propaganda, fake news, and above all, some degree of appeal and charisma. So I concede that on those points, maybe.
I'm glad you concede just a little bit to the Prime Minister who's all set to win his third term in power, Sanjay.
Well, I don't know. I can tell you one thing, Barkha.
Likely,
In,
likely,
in
likely. Yeah.
politics, in politics, you never give up hope. You
Hmm.
always believe in a sense of optimism and faith, and you never underestimate eventually the power of the people that nobody knows at a very personal level. So, to answer your question, I do think, however, Barkha, that yes, there is no denying that Priyanka wasn't handled well at the time of the launch. For example, if you looked at the Congress since 1989, it's never been a force in Uttar Pradesh Assembly or Lok Sabha. To throw her there in an election where there was hyper nationalism, Pulwama, and it's literally like dumping somebody into a snake pit and expecting a miracle is frankly brazenly unfair. So I want to just say that Priyanka is actually an untested person within Indian politics. One example that I can cite to you is Himachal, where she single handedly actually campaigned in that state. I do believe that wherever I have talked to Congress people, she has been able to make a much very bigger impact, not just Rahul, compared to many people, because she is a good communicator and she does have a sharp wit. I think she's been held back a lot because of obviously the inner contradictions that the Congress party needs to fathom. But to move on, I do feel that at this point, when you look at the elections, well, not even announced yet, that Priyanka, I should be playing a more pan-India role.
Hmm.
Restricting her to a region or a state was, in my opinion, a tactical mistake. When she talked about "Ladki ho, lad sakti ho," that should have been the theme of the Congress campaign. I, in fact, have conveyed it internally to a lot of people in the Congress, including her, that you should actually champion the cause of women in this country, because the Narendra Modi government is doing a whole lot of rubbish pedestrian propaganda. I mean, this is the party
Hang on.
that insulted women wrestlers, didn't do anything about Manipur, and then you had Bilkis Banu. So to give the women vote, kind of credentials to the BJP would be a terrible error on the part of the Congress.
I just want briefly, Tavleen, to come before I go to Sugata and to PKD, because Tavleen, you made the point. How does it matter? And Sanjay Jha says, a woman-centric campaign, and Priyanka is untested. The fact is, Priyanka is not actually untested. She has taken charge of a UP campaign before. Girls were at the heart of that campaign. She has looked after her family constituencies, her brother's constituencies for years, making the argument or under the delusion that the Gandhi name was enough. And so, therefore, I don't know that it's correct to say, Tavleen, as Sanjay Jha is saying, that Priyanka is entirely untested. What do you say?
I think she has been tested over and over again. I think what has changed with the voters is that the so-called charisma, not the so-called, there was real charisma attached to the Gandhi name, and it seems to have faded away. So, I mean, if you bring in Priyanka and then after that, Robert Vadra and then her children and all that kind of business, you're really playing a card that has been played too often before.
Yeah. So, Sugata, you have spoken about Rahul Gandhi's strange burden. At least he's carried a burden. If we can go back to Sugata Srinivasaraju now. Sugata, go ahead. Give me a second. Let's unmute you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, the news that is coming in, that Mrs. Gandhi may, go to the Rajya Sabha and Priyanka may contest Rae Bareli. I mean, I'm still not sure if she will take a plunge, because if you look at these statistics, I mean, Sanjay was talking about economic statistics, but if you just look at the party statistics, the party vote shares in Uttar Pradesh for the Congress, it suggests that the party organization and infrastructure is extremely weak. See, 2022 Uttar Pradesh Assembly elections, the Congress could just manage a 2.33% vote share. That is Assembly. But
Yeah.
if you go back to the 2019 parliamentary elections, Congress just about managed 6.36%. So this is one part of the story. So I mean, I'm not very sure it's a very prudent decision for Priyanka to take a plunge in
So,
Uttar Pradesh.
you're saying the only safe seat of the Congress, which is up on your screen in 2019, which was Sonia Gandhi's Raebareli, that could be in jeopardy.
That
And actually, poll service suggests that if Sonia Gandhi were to move out, even that seat could be up for grabs.
Absolutely. I mean, Congress has consistently over the years, see, it lost Amethi, you've mentioned that.
Yeah.
Raebareli is now very, very risky. If you look at the history of Phulpur, Nehru's constituency,
Yes.
I mean, after Vijay Lakshmi Pandit gave it up in 1968, that is when Indira Gandhi rubbed her on the wrong side and she had won the 67 elections, and then she resigned because she was being cold-shouldered. I don't think they ever got back Phulpur either. In fact, the irony of ironies will be, Barkha, that the only other Gandhi who may retain a seat in Uttar Pradesh will be Philibit and Sultanpur. I mean, Maneka
You
Gandhi
mean
and
Varun and
Varun
his
Gandhi
mother?
and
Yes.
Maneka Gandhi, right?
Yes.
So the whole news that is coming in today, for me personally, suggests a certain homelessness for the Gandhis electorally. It's a
That's
certain
an
homelessness.
that's
Even Wayanad, one last thing, Barkha,
yes.
even Wayanad, I don't know if you're following the arguments that are happening in communist Kerala.
Yes.
Nobody wants Rahul Gandhi to contest from Wayanad. They're asking him to look for something else because they want that seat for the CPI, and Annie Raja, D. Raja's wife, is being proposed as a candidate. So
And
this is
one
the
of and
situation.
Sugata, one of the points that two allies, well, allies who are angry with the Gandhis have made.
Yeah,
Mamta Banerjee says, if you really want to take on the BJP, why are you passing through my state? Go to UP. The
yeah,
CPM is making the same argument
absolutely
in Kerala.
right.
But
And
Pikini Nambiar,
Akhilesh is and
yeah,
Akhilesh is also not very happy. By the way, if he's still going to align with them, and he's
yeah.
also going to participate in the Nyaya Yatra. But you know what happened in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh and how unhappy he was. So you still don't know how much he can sort of lend a support or a shoulder to the Congress party.
PKD Nambiar, there was a time when Priyanka Gandhi was considered the ace left in the pack, the trump card left to play. The point is, and Sanjay Jha, I think, concedes that point, she's been kind of half played. She's a card that's been half played. She's a card that's been tentatively played. And therefore, whatever enigma perhaps there was once around her may have evaporated. Yet, do you believe the BJP would take her more seriously as a potential opponent than Mr. Gandhi, than her brother?
Well, Barkha, knowingly or unknowingly, what are we doing? We are talking about a one particular family and their internal politics. The mother will go to the upper house, and the daughter will go to the Raebareli, and the son will go to Wayanad or somewhere else. So the bottom line is that the Congress is all about a particular family and that the family politics. Beyond
Yeah.
that, there is no ideological connect. There is no growth-oriented approach. Even when the Nyaya Yatra started, you know that how many good leaders have left the Congress. So the bottom line is that yes, it is very graceful for Sonia Gandhi, a veteran politician. She had her own run, and if she is going to the Rajya Sabha, which is not a bad idea. But having said that, I have campaigned for some political parties in 2 years, two terms in 2014 and 2019 in Raebareli and in Amethi. And do you know that the saddest state of Raebareli is something which beyond imagination? And I can't believe that Sonia Gandhi holds that constituency from the last so many years, or it's a Gandhi this thing. Try the last 5 years, how many times Sonia Gandhi had been to Raebareli? How serious these people who have been to any of these places? How Rahul Gandhi have lost Amethi even to Smriti Irani. I think we are overestimating the Gandhi family now. From the last 90, since 90 onwards, you just imagine the Congress has been losing day by day the seats, the leaders, one by one. So I think whether it is to save the family, the tree, or to give a respectful exit from the politics, Sonia Gandhi being given a Rajya Sabha seat is not a bad idea. But does that make any kind of effect in UP? Does
In,
that
in
make
in some ways, you're saying it's a non-event. You are
there is
saying it's a non-event. It's a
no event,
non-event.
no event at all. In fact, you will be surprised in the last elections. I have not seen anywhere else. programs which were happening in the Nukkad Natak, the magic shows and the dance. These were the campaign elements in even in 2014 and 2019 in Raebareli. So that you can understand the state of effort. And most importantly, not in UP is not anymore the same. It's Yogi's UP. The
Yeah.
Yogi's UP has completely transformed. Now you can agree or disagree, but the problem is that the truth is that Yogi has transformed the UP in a major way. Now, how
Let's
much that
Yeah, let's pick up that point. This is now Yogi's UP. UP itself is transformed. Politics itself is transformed. Does Priyanka Gandhi, once known for her direct barbs, her willingness to target the prime minister rhetorically, Congress workers used to believe more effectively than her brother, will it matter now? Let's play out an old statement of Priyanka, who, by the way, Congress watchers will tell you, wanted to contest against Narendra Modi in 2014 itself from Varanasi. This is something that and she was not allowed to do so at that time. Sanjay Jha says the party has been unfair to her, and we might ask Sanjay why Priyanka Gandhi deserves a kind of debut ball rollout. But more on that in a moment. This is Priyanka Gandhi earlier taking on the Prime Minister.
मैंने तो बहुत प्रधानमंत्री देखे हैं, इंदिरा जी को देखा, गोली खाई उन्होंने इस देश के लिए, राजीव गांधी को देखा, शहीद हुए इस देश के लिए, नरसिम्हा राव जी को देखा, मनमोहन सिंह जी को देखा, मेहनत करते हुए दिन रात को इस देश के लिए। लेकिन मैंने पहला ऐसा प्रधानमंत्री देखा है बहनों और भाइयों, पहला देखा है जो आपके सामने आकर रोता है कि मुझे गाली लग रही है, मुझे गाली दे रहे हैं। आपके दुख सुनने के बजाय अपना दुखड़ा आपको सुनाते हैं, और किसी ने उनके ऑफिस में बैठकर एक लिस्ट बनाई है। अरे आपके दुखों की लिस्ट नहीं है वो आपकी समस्याओं की लिस्ट नहीं है, वो ये लिस्ट नहीं है कि किसानों की क्या समस्या है, हमें क्या करना, वो ये लिस्ट है कि मोदी जी को कितनी बार किसने गाली दी है। कम से कम एक पन्ने पे फिट तो आ रही है। अगर मेरे परिवार को जो गालियां दी हैं इन लोगों ने, हम लिस्ट बनाना शुरू करें तो हम किताब पे किताब पे किताब छपवा लेंगे। हिम्मत करो मोदी जी, मेरे भाई से सीखो। मेरा भाई कहता है गाली क्या, मैं गोली खाऊंगा इस देश के लिए। मेरा भाई कहता है सच्चाई के लिए मैं खड़ा रहूंगा। तुम गाली दो, गोली दो, छुरा मारो, कुछ भी कर लो।
Okay, Sanjay, yes, at a time she was known or commented on for better political communication. But I think let's pick up what PKD Nambiar said. Politics has changed. Politics has changed. Right?
Oh, yeah, of course, politics has changed. I agree with him. Bulldozers work. Frightening minorities is a new political strategy. Absolutely. He's absolutely right. Holding dharam sansas that call for the genocide of Muslims. Absolutely. That works. I can't deny that. Politicizing a sacred temple's inauguration. Yes, that too works. So you are right. Let's not try and pussyfoot around here.
No, but you have to convince not me, but the voter. Sanjay, the point is politics can change by winning elections. You can change what you don't like about politics by winning elections, right? Otherwise, everything is only a lamentation. Anything else is a lamentation.
Barkha, let me tell you, there are two sides in a democracy. One is the truth and one is the electoral impact. The truth remains that India under Modi today, like it or not, is a country under a siege within. There is an authoritarian culture. You can see how the farmers today are under this kind of, I think the roads have got all kinds of spikes. I mean, there's a fear of protest in this country. This is an autocratic regime, like it or not. I have always called Modi's government as an democratically elected dictatorship, and it's pretty evident in the way they have functioned. I mean, I don't want to make a laundry list of stuff. I think we all know about it. The second point is it's a divided polity. I do believe, Barkha, at this point of time, there is no denying that the India alliance hasn't handled its problems or troubleshooted through its crisis well at all. Conceded. Has the Congress demonstrated leadership in the India alliance? Absolutely not. It could have done significantly better. But the reason why I still believe that Narendra Modi and the team are nervous, There's been the Ram Mandir inauguration. They're talking about a third term, a new budget. You can see the whole assumed confidence, which I don't think is confidence. It's actually gaslighting people. It's like gaslighting people by saying, I'm coming back on third term. You basically start to psychologically brainwash people. But because I think the truth is that this government knows that at the ground level, it has not done anywhere close to what it promised. And more important, the UPA did much better than the NDA has done. So I think the truth is that I think there are many things up in the air. I do hope that whichever way it goes, Priyanka will be an instrumental factor for the
Okay.
Congress, whatever happens. I can tell you, I'm not going to make any disclosures
Okay,
on your
Tavleen.
show,
Okay,
but I
yeah.
do believe she is an asset for the Congress, and I think she will play out rather favorably going forward.
Okay, PKD, Tavleen, and then Sugata in that order. PKD, Nambiar, go ahead.
Well, I think my friend Sanjay, you are superb here. I mean, I don't think anybody else would have this kind of a courage to even say that the responsibility of opposition and opposition unity, opposition progress is the responsibility of the government. No one else will ever be able to
I
say
never
that.
said that. I never said that. I don't know
Can
what
I?
you heard.
Okay,
No,
okay,
no.
let him mix. Yeah, PKD, go
I
ahead.
don't know what you heard. I never said that.
I think you haven't said it as it in words, but the real meaning of the responsibility of opposition is also with what are we talking about? Nyaya Yatra has started. How many people even live in Bombay? How many people have left? Ashok Chavan yesterday left. He is a Congress working committee member, former chief
Yeah,
minister.
yeah.
Mulindra Europe, the former minister, had left. All of these people were quality people. Why? Where is the campaign for 2024 campaign of Congress? What is the plan the Congress has got for it? Is Congress an NGO? Is Congress has got a plan and vision for the country? Well, on the one side, we are talking about the Qatar is releasing the people from the highest respect, all the
The naval
sailors,
veterans. Yes.
the naval veterans. So I think the respect what we as a country is getting from all across the world, I think let's reflect on that. I mean, there may be some mistakes. Any government, any governance, there can't be anything foolproof. But what is happening? There are something very good happening in this particular country. Let's respect that. Our economy is growing. Our digital payment systems are being highly worldwide respected.
Okay, hold
On
on.
the
Both
other
of you hold on. Okay. I think both of you have made your points. Let's get the others and we'll come back to you for final comments. Tavleen, the point is there seem to be two very polarized narratives about where India is today. The Prime Minister arriving, by the way, in Abu Dhabi, where a temple is going to be inaugurated. He heads then to Qatar, where in a huge diplomatic breakthrough, naval veterans have come home safely. Yes, the farmers are marching towards Delhi. There have been tear gas shells and there has been sort of that clash is building up again in a kind of deja vu moment. Nobody is going to suggest that every move, every decision by the Modi government is to be applauded or that the government has no challenges. But the point is what I said to Sanjay Jha, till you win elections, you can't bring change. And this sort of alternative reality that, some member of the Gandhi family can turn that tide, that's where I think we're placing the questions. Tavleen, go ahead.
Okay, there is only one political party that can challenge the BJP at the national level. All the other political parties are regional parties. So it should have been the Congress's job in the past 10 years to, one, come up with a message. I agree with Sanjay, by the way, that there has been a very autocratic kind of government. It's an elected autocracy in many ways. I agree with him totally that the Muslims feel unsafe, that this is a very difficult country at the moment for Muslims to live in. And a lot of other stuff has happened that shouldn't have happened. But why has the Congress party not been able to exploit that? In my view, it is because they continue to cling to the Gandhi family. So it's no longer a political party. It's a little court around the Gandhis. And I think that if the Gandhis weren't there, there are enough weaknesses in the Modi government that a real political party would have been able to exploit. It's very unfortunate. I mean, what's his name? Prashant Kishore said the other day that there were at least 3 occasions on which Modi was very weak. One
Mhm.
was after the demonetization, the other was after the COVID fiasco on vaccinations, etc. Where was the Congress party? They were still trying to promote this family. And I actually believe that if the family took a back seat and became kind of, sort of the patrons of the political party and let it grow properly, organically, the Congress party would have been in a better position to fight him this year.
Sugata, do you believe that the Gandhis are now the albatross, or do you believe that the real challenge, Piketty, sorry, I know you had a point. I'll just come to Sugata and then I'll come to you. Do you believe the challenge also is that the Modi government has captured, I think we've spoken about this before, a lot of ideological spaces. So, welfareism, Hindutva, nationalism, a certain amount of caste and social engineering. And I find it quite interesting that the Modi government doesn't really care about the opinion, I think, of the political opposition, because it can afford to ignore a weakened opposition. It responds much more to people's movements. What women might be saying on Brij Bhushan Saran eventually, what farmers might be saying. The union ministers did go and engage with the farmers, did go and talk to them, right? So what is the challenge for the opposition? Is it the albatross called the Gandhis, as Tavleen says, or is it that they have no ideological narrative that is clear anymore to counter the BJP?
I think all of it, Barkha. Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes, you are. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's all of it. Just taking. I mean, I have written in my book very, very
Okay, we
clearly that
just
Rahul
you just
Gandhi.
froze up right
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Am I okay now? Hello. Hello. Hello, Barkha. Can you hear me?
Please go ahead. Are you all able to hear me?
Hello.
Sugata, can you hear me?
मैंने तो बहुत प्रधानमंत्री देखे हैं। इंदिरा जी को देखा, गोली खाई उन्होंने इस देश के लिए। राजीव गांधी को देखा, शहीद हुए इस देश के लिए। नरसिम्हा राव जी को देखा, मनमोहन सिंह जी को देखा, मेहनत करते हुए दिन रात को इस देश के लिए। लेकिन मैंने पहला ऐसा प्रधानमंत्री देखा है बहनों और भाइयों, पहला देखा है ना, जो आपके सामने आकर रोता है कि मुझे गाली लग रही है, मुझे गाली दे रहे हैं। आपके दुख सुनने के बजाय अपना दुखड़ा आपको सुनाते हैं। और किसी ने उनके ऑफिस में बैठकर एक लिस्ट बनाई है। अरे आपके दुखों की लिस्ट नहीं है वो आपकी समस्याओं की लिस्ट नहीं है। वो ये लिस्ट नहीं है कि किसानों की क्या समस्या है, हमें क्या करना। वो ये लिस्ट है कि मोदी जी को कितनी बार किसने गाली दी है। कम से कम एक पन्ने पे फिट तो आ रही है।
Hello.
Sugato, you go ahead. I think her video is freezed. You can go on.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, I've basically said in my book that Rahul Gandhi should not be prime minister, in the sense that he should openly declare that he'll never be prime minister of this country, but will, try and, take care of, be the custodian, as Tavleen ji was saying, be the custodian of the values of the Congress party. I think that is the only way to redeem themselves and, present themselves in a manner to the electorate that may sort of change their prospects. That's something that I was trying to. I think Barkha is completely gone.
No, I'm here. I'm sorry, I lost you briefly. I thought it was your connection, but it was mine. But we were talking about whether the problem is about the Gandhis being an albatross, or whether it's about the absence of an ideological narrative. So just pick up that point and go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Barkha, I have written very clearly in my book, and I've also spoken before that Rahul Gandhi should openly declare, after the electoral defeats that he has seen and the kind of stalemate that is there with regard to the Congress's electoral politics, I think he should clearly say that he won't be the prime minister of this country, and he won't sort of chase executive power. He will, on the other hand, be the custodian of the values of the Congress party. I think that is one way of redeeming themselves in the eyes of the electorate. That's a thing that I've suggested. I mean, I've not spoken like Ramchandra Guha asking him, very harshly to sort of leave the chair. So, but I've said that you can invoke the principles of trusteeship that Gandhiji spoke about, and you can share power in this manner, and that's probably one route to redeem yourselves. That's one thing. The other thing is, Barkha, Congress has also given up its national, agenda. See, for example, Rahul Gandhi since 2021 has increasingly spoken about, federalism, which is which has been the agenda of regional parties, right? He has increasingly spoken about and continues to speak about caste census. That is the Mandal agenda, which is again the agenda of the regional parties. And then most recently, the Congress party from Karnataka goes to Jantar Mantar, and they start speaking about tax sharing and finance commission problems and all of that. And they say, we give you 1 rupee and you return only 45 paise. Why are you giving 1 rupee 62 paise to Uttar Pradesh? Now, the Congress party here in Karnataka forgot Uttar Pradesh is where Sonia Gandhi's constituency is. So you cannot speak of these things in a manner that a regional party speaks. So Congress has also abandoned its national kind of agenda. It has no national agenda anymore. So it's allowed the space to the BJP to sort of cannibalize the national
But do
space.
do you agree with Tavleen? Do you agree with Tavleen that the Congress today is a court around the Gandhis, and removing them in leadership position would be a beginning, or
I
do you
mean, a
think it
lot
would
of
make no difference?
a lot of political parties have become like that, and Modi says that they have followed the the Nehru Gandhi model. So I mean, it is right. Nobody can deny that. But the Gandhis, if you want to give them a kind of honorable exit, or try to create a space for them within the party, then I think the ideological role that Rahul Gandhi has been playing is, I think you should sort of build that up a little more, and then sort of play a different kind of game until you sort of become successful electorally. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem. And also, Uttar Pradesh, since we are talking about Raebareli and Amethi and all of that, Uttar Pradesh has become a kind of faith complex for the BJP, and it's a kind of faith capital now. And there is a context in which everything operates. So there is Varanasi, there is Kashi, and there is Kashi at Benares, and the Ayodhya temple. So the kind of things that the kind of culture and the kind of ambiance that has been created in Uttar Pradesh by the BJP or by the Ayodhya temple, it's completely different. So
Okay.
I mean, I think the Congress party has to think about how it would go about resolving these issues.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea. The UP as a faith complex. Let's start taking last comments.
Yeah.
Piketty, you were wanting to come in. Go ahead. Can we unmute Mr. Nambiar?
Tavleen ji has started with one particular thing, and which I really amused, or rather very, very happy. It's all about number 10 Janpat as a house. There is nothing beyond that, this all these Rajya Sabha seat or the other seats. And do you know that the in Wayanad Muslim League is the prominent party, and they don't want Rahul Gandhi to be an MP. I spoke to so many people. It's my neighboring district. And nobody wanted Rahul Gandhi to be there as a guest role, coming once in a while and jumping on the car and making some, going and having some pakoda. This is not the kind of politics of today. We are talking about Narendra Modi, a 24/7 politician who lead the country from the front. And on top of it, here it comes to the mother, daughter, and the son, saying that yes, we are the people who hold the dukan of the love. This is
Do
not
you
what
do
we
you do
wanted.
you believe as a supporter of this government? Do you believe Priyanka Gandhi is a more effective politician than Rahul Gandhi? Would you take her more
Overrated.
seriously as a political opponent?
Overrated. There is no credentials.
Overrated.
You see, she's been there in
Okay.
the politics at least 10, 15 years, partially or impartially or whatever
Okay.
it may be. There is nothing, there is no credibility. Tell me, what is the credibility of Priyanka Gandhi as a Congress leader or as a parliamentarian or as a politician or in the same is in
Okay.
the same
Okay.
place?
I think it's a fair question. I think it's a fair question, Sanjay, because you said in the beginning that she hadn't been given a good inaugural. What does that actually qualify as? I mean, she has been given a position in the party without actually any sustained evidence of winnability. She has run campaigns in UP, managed a constituency for her brother, which he then lost. Right?
Well,
Let's be
Barkha, I do
let's
believe
be
that.
realistic.
Yeah, Barkha, I do believe that Priyanka, what she does, will figure out in the coming months. But I think this election is really about the future of this country. I heard PKD making some anecdotal comments of some people whom he knows in Wayanad don't like Rahul. I think I know hundreds and thousands of people who have a contrarian view. So let's not get into that kind of a pedestrian argument. The larger point here is that India today faces a serious challenge to its democratic secular structure. And if anybody here is foolish enough to believe just because Narendra Modi is apparently very popular, allegedly won the third term, and therefore everything is a hunky dory, ladies and gentlemen, smell the coffee. Because the truth is this, and this is what I think I like to basically believe in, and I have an ideology that is very consistent with what the Congress stands for, no matter what its political fault lines are, which I concede are serious. But I think this election might still throw up some surprises we are not ready for. I have friends, I know people, including in the state I come from. Trust me, there are serious, I would say, disillusionment levels across the length and breadth of this country. The farmers' agitation, Barkha, is I think, a manifestation of something that you cannot ignore. Nobody here has talked about unemployment. I think Sugata talked about, India has got a different issue, etc., etc. Does anybody realize what it means when you kill institutions? I know people today who have lost faith in the judiciary of this country. There are problems. There's CBI, ED, income tax. There are large members of your opposition are either in jail, are being bought out, or are being told you will be in jail soon. So I
Okay.
think the larger challenge that one should not ignore, I don't care for anybody's political preferences, they're free to have it. There are concerns about India's future. And I do believe that if the Congress and the opposition don't pull it off, and I'll agree with Tavleen on that one completely, the laundry list of issues that the Congress had, the Congress today should have been the front runner instead of still trying to be cobbling up a coalition to take on Modi. And that, I think, is the real
Okay.
disappointment. I hope it changes.
Sugata, and then Tavleen can have the
Yeah.
last word.
Yeah,
Sugata, go ahead.
yeah,
Yeah.
Barkha, I mean, a lot of emphasis is put on Priyanka Gandhi's articulation in political communication. See, she is articulate, she is charming, but that alone is not sufficient. In fact, if you speak about EMS Namboodiripad, he would be stuttering, but he was one of the finest political brains. So, I mean, Manmohan Singh was not very articulate, but then he knew his job. So, I mean, articulation doesn't count for much in politics. And second, Barkha, this scaremongering also won't help. Saying that, oh, Modi will take over, democracy will die, that will happen, this, all of that may be true. I mean, I will agree on everything that Sanjay ji says. But the problem is that you can't just, be scaremongering, but you also have to strategize. Electioneering, that's a different game completely. And I think Congress has lost its touch. If you look at the reaction to Ashok Chavan's exit, if you look at the reaction to Ghulam Nabi Azad's exit, if you look at the reaction to Milind Deora's exit, that tells you the
Yes.
kind of amateurs who are running the party.
Yeah, amateurs running the party. Tavleen, here's the point. Mr. Modi has won his elections fair and square, right? Whatever Sanjay's concerns about religious minorities, Muslims, institutional freedoms, the voter accesses elections in terms of, does my vote bring in or bring down somebody? They're not too, I think, worked up over the finer points of democracy. Yes, unemployment, price rise, definitely. Those impact people every day. Do they care? Priyanka Gandhi or Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi? On the other hand, we can't say personality doesn't matter, because one of the things that works for the Prime Minister is the cult of personality around him. Personality does matter.
Okay, I want to say two things. One is I've heard Priyanka's speeches, and she's very she made very good little quips and clever little jibes at the Prime Minister, etc. But I haven't heard what she stands for. Does she stand for democracy and secularism, etc.? She does not. It's always her family. You know, my dadi liked football and my father did this, and you know that doesn't work anymore. Most people are at a voting age now don't even remember Indira Gandhi, so she needs to get over that. Secondly, we really do need an opposition party. I wrote that in my column last week. You know, we need an opposition party that stands for those foundational values that I believe in, you know, the liberalism, democracy, and, you know, so whether the voter stands for that or not, if you can convince him that this is important, that's what political leaders should do. That is how you win elections, when you convince the guy who's going into the polling booth that you stand for certain things. That we do not see in any member of the Gandhi family or in any other Congress leader at the moment.
Okay, we'll leave it there. I think the Congress has its job cut out for it. That much we can all agree on. Priyanka or no Priyanka, Sonia or no Sonia. And the real challenges are not getting angry with those who support the government, but convincing the voter that you have a better model for governance than the BJP is offering. Thank you very much to Sanjay, to Tavleen, to PKD, and to Sugata, and to our audience. Thank you for watching. See you soon.
Mojo Story has always made a commitment to its viewers to go to where the story is. And as you can see here, we are at the epicenter of the Israel war on Gaza. We are right at the front line, about 1 mile from the Gaza Strip, as the Israeli military gets ready with its tanks and its gunners to begin its final frontal assault that will take troops into Gaza. As we said, we are not like other organizations. We believe in giving you all sides of the story objectively and as much as possible from the ground. And that's exactly what we're doing here, covering the biggest global story today from the epicenter of the war zone. So please, we need your support. Support us, become a Mojo member, subscribe to us, spread the word, and thank you for your support.